Taxes, we get it, they're a drag. Let's be real. Nobody paying taxes. It's like going to the dentist. You know it's necessary, but it's still a pain in the you-know-what. But here's the thing. Taxes are the lifeblood of a functioning society. They pay for roads, schools, hospitals, all the things we rely on. Think of it like this. Taxes are the cover charge for living in a civilized society. Yeah, it's a bummer to fork over that cash, but at least you get something in return. Imagine a world without public services. No fire department, no police, no public transportation. Sounds chaotic, right? That's why paying your taxes on time is crucial. It's not just about avoiding penalties, although those are real and we'll get to that later. It's about doing your part and contributing to the greater good. Plus, let's be honest, dealing with the IRS is probably not how you want to spend your free time. So what happens if you decide to play hide and seek with your tax obligations? Let's just say the consequences can be about as fun as a root canal. The price of procrastination, late fees, and penalties. We've all been there. Deadlines looming, paperwork piling up. But when it comes to taxes, procrastination can cost you big time. Miss the filing deadline, and the IRS will hit you with a failure to pay penalty. That's an automatic 0.5% of the unpaid taxes for each month or part of a month that your taxes are late, up to a maximum penalty of 25%. And don't even think about ignoring those tax notices. The IRS doesn't mess around. They'll keep sending letters, and each one will come with increasingly threatening language and bigger penalties. Trust us, you don't want to find yourself on the receiving end of one of those final notice letters. But wait, there's more. On top of the failure to pay penalty, you'll also get slapped with interest charges on the unpaid amount. The interest rate can fluctuate, but it's usually higher than what you pay for a credit card. So, basically, you're paying extra for the privilege of owing the government money. The snowball effect, how unpaid taxes grow over time. Here's the scary part. Unpaid taxes don't just sit there patiently waiting for you to pay up. They snowball. Remember those penalties and interest charges we talked about? They keep accruing month after month, year after year. It's like that annoying debt collector who just won't leave you alone. Let's say you owe $5,000 in taxes. You ignore the notices, hoping the problem will magically disappear. Spoiler alert, it won't. After your penalties and interest, that $5,000 debt could easily balloon to over $6,000. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Suddenly you're stuck in a financial hole that seems impossible to climb out of. This can lead to a whole world of stress, anxiety, and sleepless nights. Who needs that? The feds aren't messing around liens and levies. Okay, so you've ignored the notices, the penalties, and the interest charges. You're thinking, what's the worst that can happen? Well, buckle up, because the IRS has some serious tools at their disposal. One of their favorite weapons is the dreaded tax lien. This is basically a legal claim against your assets, your house, your car, your prized Beanie Baby collection. It's the government's way of saying, you owe us money and we're coming for your stuff. What? It gets worse. If a lien doesn't do the trick, the IRS can resort to a levy. This means they can seize your assets, your bank accounts, your wages, even your tax refunds to satisfy the debt. Imagine going to check your bank balance only to find out it's been cleaned out by Uncle Sam. Not a good feeling. Section 5, Jailhouse Rock, when tax evasion gets serious. Now, before you start panicking, it's important to understand that most tax cases don't end up with jail time. The IRS is usually more interested in getting their money back than throwing people behind bars. However, there are some situations where the feds won't hesitate to bring down the hammer. We're talking about serious offenses like tax evasion, which is intentionally not paying taxes you know you owe. This is where things get really real. Think Al Capone, the notorious gangster who thought he was above the law. Turns out even he couldn't escape the long arm of the IRS. He ended up doing hard time for tax evasion. Section 6, Real Talk. Stories from the tax trenches. We've thrown a lot of information your way, so let's bring it down to earth with some real-life examples. Remember Wesley Snipes, the action movie star? He thought he could outsmart the IRS by hiding his income and not filing taxes for years. Spoiler alert, it didn't end well. Snipes ended up serving 3 years in federal prison for tax evasion. And he's not alone. There are countless stories of celebrities, business owners, and everyday people who thought they could get away with not paying their taxes. The moral of the story? Don't be like Wesley. Section 7, don't be a statistic. How Bell's accounting can help. Okay, so we've scared you straight, hopefully. But don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. The good news is that there's a way to avoid the taxman's wrath, and it's easier than you might think. That's where Bell's accounting comes in. We're like the tax superheroes you never knew you needed. Our team of experienced professionals can help you navigate the often confusing world of taxes, ensuring you stay on the right side of the law. Whether you're a freelancer, a small business owner, or just someone who needs help with their personal taxes, we've got your back. We'll help you file on time, maximize your deductions, and avoid those nasty penalties. Section 8, stay informed, stay safe. Resources for taxpayers. We get it. Taxes can be confusing, but there's no shame in asking for help. In fact, the IRS has a ton of resources available to taxpayers, from online tools to phone support. You can visit their website, irs.gov, to access forms, publications, and answers to frequently asked questions. They even have a handy interactive tax assistant that can help you figure out your tax obligations. Remember, knowledge is power. The more you know about your tax responsibilities, the better equipped you'll be to avoid problems down the road. Section 9, the bottom line, pay your taxes, sleep at night. Look, we're not saying you have to paying taxes, but it's important to remember that they're a necessary part of living in a functioning society. And trust us, the alternative, dealing with penalties, liens, levies, and maybe even jail time, is way more stressful than just biting the bullet and filing your taxes on time. So do yourself a favor and stay on top of your tax obligations. If you're feeling overwhelmed, don't hesitate to reach out to a qualified tax professional like Bell's Accounting will help you make sense of it all and ensure you're getting the most out of your hard-earned money. Remember, a good night's sleep is priceless.